presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
Who are these Houston Astros, and how did they pull off a hostile takeover of Chase? For a game and a half, it was all Texans, and it wasn't pretty. And finally, in a pennant race, the tables turned. Down 7-1. Game 2. It was a night to never, ever forget. The 0-1. Oh, my! Justin Johnson! Out of here! A little number. Puts it come off the mound. Loves it! The Diamondbacks win! Wow! The great state of Arizona talking playoff baseball if they continue to play this way. The Arizona Diamondbacks. The key is, though, against the Houston Astros, not the first game and a half, but the last half game in Game 2 of the 4-game series. Tonight it's Game 3. The Houston Astros going toe-to-toe with the Arizona Diamondbacks. All the action on Fox Sports Arizona now. What do the standings say? They say that the Arizona Diamondbacks have a chance to stand all alone again in first place. The Pirates took care of business. They pounded the San Francisco Giants earlier today. Certainly a big loss for those Giants. Time to capitalize. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. We trust to this point, and to this point in the week, you've had a good day and a good week to boot. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks, specifically Josh Collmenter. He goes toe-to-toe with a young man making his Major League debut in Henry Sosa. But for Josh Collmenter, he's got to piece things back together. There was side discussions about Collmenter maybe not making this start. Kirk Gibson would have none of it. But who would think, when you look ahead to this start for Collmenter, this may be the biggest start of his Major League career?
I think so, and I think from here on out it's going to be the biggest start of his career. The Diamondbacks have an opportunity to take over first place thanks to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, who do you hand the ball to? You hand it to Josh Collmenter. And this is a kid that has proved so far this year he can be cool under pressure. Yes, he struggled in back-to-back starts against the Los Angeles Dodgers, but this kid has seized the moment just about all year long. He's got an ERA of 3.5, folks, so don't give up on him just quite yet.
Yeah, his manager, Kirk Gibson, isn't. Now, J.B. Shuck, J.D. Martinez, Jose Altuve. I swear, I promise you folks, you diehard Diamondbacks fans didn't know who they were. We know who they are now.
Boy, you're not kidding. These guys have come out and just shown that they mean business. Yeah, they want to stay in the big leagues, so these guys are dangerous. They are playing with reckless abandon. They are swinging it, and they're playing loosey-goosey. And thankfully, Micah Owings put an end to that yesterday evening, or these guys still might be hitting. They are very impressive, Darren.
To be honest, you didn't know who they were, folks, did you?
No.
I mean, we had to study up on them, and it's been fun to watch them seize the moment. The Diamondbacks hope, though, that they can win the ball game. Memorable moments so far this season, always when you're in a pennant race. When we come back, we'll talk about some of those memorable moments. Simply put, what were your favorite moments? You know who will help us? Mark McClone will help us tackle that subject.
Set for Game 3 of the series between the Houston Astros and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And welcome to the field. Mark McClune with you, as we said, just about set for the first pitch. The final pitch and final out last night between the Astros and the Diamondbacks might have been the moment of the season as J.J. Putz went diving into the turf to make the play to secure the comeback for the Arizona Diamondbacks, who try to take over sole possession of first place tonight in the National League West. We want to know if you think it was the moment of the season. It's our weigh-in Wednesday, and our question is, what's been your favorite Diamondback moment this season and why? Was it Kirk Gibson maybe getting ejected for the first time? Was it Kelly Johnson's grand slam against the Minnesota Twins and the curtain call on a Saturday night? Or was it something else? It's delivered by the UPS store. Well, hit us up at Facebook, Twitter, or at FoxSportsArizona.com, all part of our weigh-in Wednesday as the Diamondbacks take on the Houston Astros and try to get into that driver's seat in the division. Coming up, it is the Diamondbacks and the Astros, and the power of positivity. Positive thinking last night led the Diamondbacks back last night. What will they do tonight? Let's find out. It's next on Fox Sports Arizona.
Arizona, Brad Mills, the University of Arizona. He has a young, aggressive bunch. Well, young and aggressive. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. We told you in the open, Ohio State's J.B. Shuck, Jose Altuve, J.D. Martinez, all doing big things. You got a veteran 1,000 RBI man in Carlos Lee. Bogasevic with his first big league home run last night. Jimmy Paredes, Clint Barmas, Humberto Quintero on a roll, and Henry Sosa. Joshua Michael Colementer is 25 years old. He's 6-7 with a 3.58 ERA. Numbers brought to you by KFC. Again, his last two outings against the Dodgers, they have been very tough on him. The young man has given up 11 runs total in 6 innings of work. He tries to turn the tide. As you said in the open, I think that was certainly the right way to look at it, as that pitch is called high and we are underway at Chase Field. He's got a 3.5 ERA in his rookie season,
which is very good.
There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Miguel Montero to J.B. Shuck wants him down. He wants him down.
Those first two pitches were around belt high strikes. That's not what Josh Colementer needs. He needs to be down around the kneecaps. That's when he'll have that big time success. Everything up in the zone, and that's dangerous for Josh Colementer.
Arizona out of the starting rotation needs a quality start as well. As that one in on the hands. That one was up but buried inside on the pride of Ohio State University, J.B. Shuck.
Well, the Michigan guy's got to get out of Ohio State guy,
That's
right?
Exactly right. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Good outfield, good range. Roberts, Bloomquist, Johnson, Goldschmidt is at first base. Miguel Montero catches. Josh Colmenter. The pesky Jose Altuve, 5 feet 7 inches tall, Venezuelan native. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Let's see if there's room. Goldschmidt to the rail. He's got it.
It's a big-time play right there. I mean a big-time play.
That's a big dip on the other side of that gate, by the way.
And that's also good field awareness. This is only like his 5th game to ever play here at Chase Field. He runs over to a spot, no regard, and just makes a nice play. Hips hit the gate right there, or the fence area, and he just stays right with it and makes it look easy. That is a terrific play by Goldschmidt.
There's a low strike over the outside corner. Tell you what, be careful of this gentleman. You better hit your spots. He has owned Arizona in this series. 4 hits, 2 of them homers. Fastball right in there. Now, the concept of Colmenter facing a team the second time through, it's been one we've tracked. You really kind of have to throw it out the window against the Astros. Because it was a different team.
Yeah, there was guys like Michael Bourne, Hunter Pence, Jeff Keppinger.
You're exactly right. A different team. Shuck wasn't there. Altuve, Martinez, Lee was there. That pitch inside. Bogusevic was not. Paredes was not. Barmes was, and Quintero was. El Caballo was. Carlos Lee. Little number. First changeup of the ball game. So J.D. Martinez, young man out of Nova Southeastern University, unloading on the baseball in this series.
First game, Daniel Hudson got introduced. Then the very next night, Jason Marquis got introduced as well on a couple of changeups. Boy, he has a nice swing, doesn't he? That bat is flying through the strike zone. Some serious bat speed from Martinez.
Two and two, the count. A delicate stride as he strides early, touches that dirt, and then locks in. Into the dirt it goes.
First curveball of the game. Now all of a sudden an 0-2 count has turned into a 3-2 count. And this is a big, young kid, a rookie just up from Double-A not too long ago at all. He's shown us some pretty good patience this series as well, hasn't he? He doesn't chase too many pitches out of the zone.
Fastball popped up toward the dugout.
And he's got the ability to fight off the tough pitches. That was a very good pitcher's pitch right there from Colmenter. I mean, right in on his belly button. He doesn't swing through him. He finds a way to spoil him. That's a good pitch.
Full count, 2 outs. 9th pitch about to come home of this at bat. Change up. Get it down. Out front, boy, they did. But did he spoil it? I think he did. Montero, no.
He spoiled another really good pitch with 2 strikes.
That was a great pitch.
He did it earlier to a changeup, just dribbling it foul, giving himself an opportunity. I mean, that's a good changeup.
The next pitch will be number 10 of this at bat. Martinez, a 20th round draft pick in 2009. Jumped up from Double-A where he was hitting .338. Right back to the screen. And he's doing it again. At some point tonight, we'll tell you about a brief encounter that catcher Miguel Montero had with J.D. Martinez this past winter, when it left Montero smiling.
Got it. Yes. That's enough, says Josh Colmenter. Pretty good start to this biggest start of his career.
At any Gila River casino, you can win $2,000 to $20,000 right away. Right now, get to Jack in the Box and come try the new Jumbo Breakfast Platter for just $2.99 plus tax at Jack in the Box. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats with no blackout dates. Henry Sosa set to make his major league debut against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had made 10 starts in the minors this year. 29 overall appearances. This is what he did in the minor leagues as a starter. He's a new Astro. He was acquired in a recent trade. Jeff Keppinger went over to the San Francisco Giants. Certainly well aware of Keppinger. You might not have heard of Sosa. Well, now you have. Welcome to the big leagues, young man. Willie Bloomquist, Ryan Roberts, and Justin Upton.
And the word on the street is that Sosa has very good stuff, a good low to mid-90s sinking fastball, but the command in the minor leagues has been a bit iffy at times.
Sinks it over the inside to Willie Bloomquist. 2-1 the count. 279, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs for Willie. He has scored 32 times this year. Had a nice night last night. Willie drives it. Well struck. Deep left field. Going back Martinez. Out of here. Wow. That's a tough welcome to the big leagues. 1-0. Arizona leads it. Fulton Holmes homer. $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Homer number 4, RBI number 20, fastball in. Willie Bloomquist just pulls the hands in nicely. That bat made a beautiful sound. And about 5 rows deep it goes to left center field, and that is a rough welcome to the big leagues for young Mr. Sosa. Well, you can just see those couple of days off really recharged him, wouldn't you say, Darren?
Yeah, I really think they did. Legs are stronger. I was talking to Willie Bloomquist before the game about how do you prepare for a guy like Sosa? Do you watch a bunch of video? You know, Kirk Gibson's staff has it all lined up if they want it. 1 and 2 the count. He said, you know, the last few times I've watched video on pitchers where it comes from the minor leagues and a guy comes up, because you can find that video. He said they've thrown nothing like in the video. He said, I didn't watch the video this time.
Done with it.
Isn't that interesting? He didn't watch the video. He hit a homer. Whether the two are related, I'm not sure. That one is belted in the left center field. That one dies up against the wall. Ryan Robertson with a double. So a homer and now a double for these driving at Diamondbacks. That's 18 doubles in the year for Ryan Roberts.
Roberts staying hot. It just seems like he's on base constantly. He takes a slider, it just hangs right in the middle of the plate, and he drives it out in left center field. You can see the center fielder, J.B. Shuck, shading him opposite, and that gets it down in left center field. And by the time Shuck gets it back in, Ryan Roberts standing on second base.
And so now Justin moving into the top 10 in just about every offensive category in the National League. First pitch fastball went after, but it's a fly ball into left center. Shuck charges, makes the play right to the cutoff man, so nothing doing. Upton done on the first pitch. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You've seen the first 3. Miguel Montero batting cleanup tonight. It's Chris Young, Kelly Johnson, Paul Goldschmidt, Gerardo Parra, who's a very successful number 8 hitter, and Josh Coleman. Miguel needed a night like he had last night. Felt like his hands were starting to betray him. Those legs, I'm sure, were barking. Has never been used to catching every day at this point in the season. 0-1 the count. He managed last night, though, to trust his hands.
That's exactly right. Trust your hands. You don't need to put a lot of body into it. Just use those very talented hands and wrists that he has. And you don't need home runs. Home runs are fun and sexy, but well, those doubles and singles, those worked out pretty well last night, didn't they? 3 RBIs worth.
He had a wonderful night last night. Broke a bat as well. Ended up fighting a ball off with a huge RBI. For Montero, 3 runs batted in, as you mentioned. And in the 9 previous games, he was hitting below 200. Did he take it? Yes, he did. Upon appeal, that's C.B. Buckner. Behind him, Jerry Meals is at second. Dale Scott, the first base umpire, with Dan Iasogna behind the plate. There's Dan. Justin Upton and CB, I'm guessing they've smoothed things over just fine now.
Oh, it was over pretty much after the next at bat. That's just the way it is. I mean, you don't always have to play nice. You're allowed to have a say in this game. We're not in rush, are we?
No, you're allowed to have a say.
No, we're not. You're allowed to speak your mind.
3-2 the count. Fouls that one off. This is the night for Montero last night. And it was a good night. You like that. The Diamond. Three and two the count. 1-0 already. Arizona on top on a Willie Bloomquist homer. Inside, wouldn't bite. He earns himself on with a walk. Miguel, 35 walks this year. His on base is 345. And now Chris Young. And an early visit to the mound. Doug Brocale, pitching coach for these Houston Astros. Young with a mini, albeit humble, 3-game hitting streak. Kirk Gibson was speaking about him today, saying he felt, the words of the manager, that Young was close to breaking out. What we have seen in his last 17 games is no extra base hits and a 143 batting average. And so if you're a Diamondbacks fan, you hope the manager's right.
Oh, big opportunity to throw a big haymaker right here to young Sosa. He's going to get him, though.
Fastball with some jump at 93 miles an hour. Bogusevic puts that one away for the Astros. Defensively, let's take a look at all of them working, and it's brought to you by David Robleski and Associates. Paredes, Barmes, Altuve, and Carlos Lee, now first baseman. Humberto Quintero catches Henry Sosa. I'll go with the hard-hitting Kelly Johnson side.
I like it.
You know, they always say that what we need is a few more hard-hitting Kelly Johnson types in our lineup.
And everything will be just fine.
0-1 to count.
Oh, boy, he got a hanging breaking ball there, and he took a good rip at it and fouled it back. I mean, this thing just hangs right in the center of the plate. Yikes. Boy, those were fun.
One and two the count, Kelly. Johnson from down in the Austin area of Texas against these Houston Astros in his career hits .310. Has homered 5 times against Astros pitching in his career. Inside, 2-2 the count. Doubled in a run last night. And hitting below 200 since the break. Good patience as that one runs out of the zone.
0-2 to 3-2 now. The runners will get a running start out there. That's Ryan Roberts. And that's Miguel Montero. That's Paul Goldschmidt. But they'll be getting a running start on the 3-2 pitch.
1-0 the score. The runners are gone. Here's the pitch. Outside, they're loaded for Goldschmidt. Boy, asking for it is Sosa.
A couple of walks, a home run, a double. He's very fortunate to only have one across the board so far. Brad Mills would be thrilled if he could find a way to retire Paul Goldschmidt in this situation.
Spread out in that batter's box, holds the bat parallel to the ground and takes a pitch high, 1-0 the count.
And he's all over the place, so you can tell the nerves are starting to creep in a little bit. Bases loaded after giving the first batter I've seen in the big leagues a home run ball.
That man hit it, Willie Bloomquist. The 1-0. Dropped
a good slider.
Beautiful breaking ball in there, 1-1 the count. Signed professionally in 2004 out of El Saibo in the Dominican Republic. Pitched in the Futures game in 07 in San Francisco. Ball hot shot right by Paredes into left field. One run is in. Another run comes on down. The Diamondbacks lead it 3-0.
A big 2-out hit there from Goldschmidt. A smash of a one-hopper on a fastball in. This one just undresses Jimmy Paredes down there at third base, and into left field it goes, and the Diamondbacks picking up right where they left off the last 4 or 5 innings of last night's game.
Really bringing the offense, Arizona, and Gerardo Parra now the 8th Diamondback to hit in the opening inning in the Major League debut of Henry Sosa. He pours that one over the outside. Sosa, in his last outing, pitched on the road in AAA in Las Vegas, pitched well. He's realizing very quickly this is not Las Vegas, though. Parra popped it up into shallow left. Coming on to make the play, J.D. Martinez. Big inning by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, Willie keeps hitting them like this. They won't call him Willie Bloomquist. They'll call him Willie Mo Bloomquist. Paul Goldschmidt with a hot shot in the left field as well, driving in a pair.
That's terrible.
It was a huge day for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Andrew McCutchen, he played at a pair. He scored 4 runs. There were 3 RBIs off the bat of Brian Ludwig. He had a huge day as well. All in all, it was a big celebration for the Pirates as they rolled 9-2, high fives all around. Tough day for Jonathan Sanchez. On the flip side, Jeff Karstens was that good. So you can send out a thank you to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, baseball is just a weird game. Pirates, I don't think they could have beat a Little League team there for 10 games. And then they go into San Francisco and lay it on the Giants 2 out of 3.
That one is outside. 3-0 the count.
Josh Coleman staked to a 3-run early lead, comes out and goes 3-0 on his first batter, Carlos Lee.
There's a strike.
Oh, very gracious from Dan Iasoglu. Carlos, golly.
The one thing I think the Giants probably are most frustrated about is this isn't just one series. This is a couple of series in a row where they have struggled. Carlos drives it deep left, but it's a foul ball. As a matter of fact, it's 10 of 13 losses, 3 straight series at home. It's been 3 seasons since they've done that, and no one used to seeing San Francisco with a starter's ERA in that time span of 4.
No.
Boy, he got him to dip down and go after that changeup.
Good pitch.
Our Kia text poll. By joining us, we may receive a reminder text back from our good friends with Kia Motors. Are the Giants' recent struggles a bump in the road or a sign of things to come? A, bump. B, sign. A or B to 36929.
Well, it kind of depends on like a little speed bump or like one of those big old sinkholes.
Mm-hmm. I tend to think it's a bump.
I tend to think they're defending world champions.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to continue to lose, what, 11 of 13 like they have? Or at least if you're the Diamondbacks, you better not depend on it. 3-0 again.
Well, that's why in this series you realize if you're Arizona, you need to rally back from the game 1 loss, win the next 3, win the series. Win the series against the New York Mets. Way into the dirt it goes. Coleman came back and got Carlos Lee. The one thing you don't want to do is look a gift horse in the mouth here. Get those runs, get a little bit of support. You're kind of trying to find your own confidence. Let's see if you can find the strike zone again. The other part of it that needs to be mentioned is walks aren't ever. Whether he was a young pitcher or whether he's who he is now, which is a young pitcher in the big leagues, they've never been part of his game. So you don't find yourself concerned he'll jump out of the strike zone to stay. 0-1 the count. This year he has walked 19 and struck out 64.
Which is fabulous. Tied him up with a fastball in. Jimmy Paredes, who hit his first big league home run here last evening. The only blemish on Micah Owings' outing. Boy, he was good, wasn't he? Again.
Yeah, just a weapon out of the bullpen. 3 really good innings, stopped the bleeding, and allowed his team to start the hitting. He helped with the hitting, Micah Owings. You're talking about a guy like Paredes, the Houston rookies coming into this ball game in this series, 19 of 44. It's a 430 clip with 4 homers. High fly ball toward that wide open space in right center field. Kirk Gibson before the game talking about Josh Coleman, some of what he thinks are the keys to his improvement and success against Houston.
He knows it's about his fastball command. And ultimately, you got to find a way to get it there. And we know these guys, if it's where we don't want it, they've already proven to us they swing the bats well enough to hurt us. If he can get his fastball command, I think it makes his changeup much more effective. And you guys all know that I like to see him use his curveball more.
Notice that last little comment. You guys know by now I'd like to see him use his curveball.
I just don't think that Josh Colementor believes in it enough yet. I think right now he is very much at peace with being a two-pitch pitcher. It's hard to do as a starter. Very hard to do to be a two-pitch pitcher as a starter. Not many great ones were two-pitch guys. There's what you were looking for. There's what you were looking for, Kirk Gibson. And that's just a thing of beauty right there. Nicely done. And he would like to see about 10 or 12 of those in a game.
That's a fair number.
Yeah. Just to put that in the opposing hitter's head.
I love the fact, and he was able to work through it, and yes, it ran the count full in the first inning. But I love the fact that he threw one in the first inning. He threw a curveball in the very first inning.
Got to get a feel for it.
Miguel Montero saying he was never really able to get to it in his last outing against the Dodgers.
Good fastball. Boy, that curveball set that one up, didn't it?
Because the curveball comes into that same line of sight about chest high. Would he dare believe in it here to throw it 1-2?
No.
Miguel calling for a fastball on 1 and 2.
It's not a put-away curveball. It's an early in the count curveball. It's something to do just what he did. Throw something up there that the hitter will most likely take, and you can drop it in there for a called strike. He wants a high fastball up and in. Let's see if Barmes will chase out of the zone. I know you love that pitch, don't you, Darren?
2-2 the count.
Well, my partner doesn't like that pitch, folks. He doesn't like it at all. But if it sets up a good changeup right here.
Totally agree. A lot of times that's what happens in the big leagues. The pitch sets up the next.
And it's coming. It's a changeup away, folks. He's going to sit. Yeah, it's fastball in. I missed that sign.
Popped it foul. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Clinton Barmes. Very solid rookie season out of Indiana State University. And along came Troy Tulowitzki to play short in Colorado. 2-2 the count. Looks like they're going back outside with the fastball.
Beautiful.
Got him. Boy, he hit
a lot of fastballs tonight.
With
a lot of good fastballs.
Well,
exactly
and commanded
right.
fastball, as Kirk Gibson said, the commanded fastball. Just a few more curveballs, maybe. lead things off. And a second chance for Henry Sosa. You're making your major league debut. You relish a chance to get back out there and see what you can figure out. Down 3-0. Colementer takes. That one misses in. 2-0 the count. Josh, 4 of 21 with a walk, 8 strikeouts. Takes a low strike. 2-1 the count on Colementer. Sosa in his career in the minor leagues has made 80 starts, a 3.5 ERA in the minor leagues. Strikeouts? A little bit more than 8 per 9 innings of work in his minor league career.
That's pretty doggone good.
Some of that work out of the bullpen. 49 relief appearances and 80 starts. A little topper for Colementer. Sosa sets and shoots it on over for the out.
The next bobblehead giveaway is Saturday, August 27th, when the first 15,000 fans to the D-backs Padres game. You're going to take home a Chris Young bobblehead, courtesy of Audi. You can guarantee the Chris Young and Ryan Roberts bobbleheads, as well as the World Championship replica ring with the Grand Slam giveaway pack. Call 602-462-4786 or visit dbacks.com/Grand Slam. That's a lot of stuff to give away.
And a good thing, too. A great celebration. Willie Bloomquist, who homered for his 4th home run of the year to get things going in the first. Willie, in his last 27 games now, has 33 hits, hitting well over 300. And he takes outside. 2-0 the count. Simply put, since Steven was injured, since he was knocked out for the year with the ankle injury, Willie's hitting .299. And that's fine.
Very good.
With an on base about .340. Scored 11 runs. That's a number you'll look at.
When Willie was brought on to the Arizona Diamondbacks, he was not brought on to play as much as he has played.
Everyday shortstop?
Exactly. I think he has done terrific. He was supposed to be an outfielder, maybe play some first base, every once in a while some third base. The everyday shortstop. By the way, Stephen Drew, if you're watching or listening, get well quickly.
Yeah, we miss you. Bloomquist is erased. Sosa starting to clean things up. A little bit more on Henry Sosa and how these Diamondbacks are hoping to get to know him. We bring in Mark McClune. Mark, what do you have?
Well, he didn't have to go very far to make his major league debut. He was actually down in Tucson with the Astros AAA affiliate, drove up to Phoenix today with his wife, walked in the Astros clubhouse, and met manager Brad Mills for the first time. Brad Mills said, "Don't try to do too much," and Sosa told him, "That's what I do. I don't try to do too much." Cody Ransom, meanwhile, one of the very few number of Diamondbacks that had actually seen him down in AAA. That was the video that was up in the Diamondbacks clubhouse today. Ransom, I had a chance to talk to him about Sosa. He said he didn't remember much about facing him, that Sosa was one of the many guys that came out of the pen that Ransom saw that threw 95 when the scouting report said 91 miles an hour. And Ransom said he actually thought he led the league in facing guys like that.
Ah, the guy you've seen for the first time. He cleaned it up that inning. Thank you, Mark. We move along. 3-0, Arizona leads it. Max Reward Program and earn points by buying participating items at Fry's Kia Motors. Learn more. Visit phxkia.com. 30 minutes or less. It's in theaters August 12th. Humberto Quintero takes high and away, 1-0 the count. Quintero, nice little roll. He picked up a base hit. He's got a 9-game hitting streak. And a workmanlike catcher. He is a guy that loves to throw from behind the plate. Picked off 10 base runners last couple of years.
If you remember, Darren, he was the one that was injured in the collision in Houston earlier this year. A collision at home plate with Ryan Roberts.
In a play where he was kind of left exposed with the leg out, the ball trickled away. High fly ball, pretty well struck, but he got under it. Quintero with a fly ball out to left field. Unfortunately, the Giants will not see Buster Posey again. The Astros do see Quintero. It wasn't pretty, though. That ankle rolled right there.
And you can see it's not. Ryan Roberts got no place to go. Quintero's just sitting right on top of the plate, so he had to go over the top of him, and fortunately Quintero's just fine. Spent a little time on the DL, but
good to see him back.
Yeah, exactly. You never wish injury or pain on anybody. He was just doing his job.
He has kind of the same reputation. I'd love to have you confirm that, as Miguel Montero does. An energy guy, a guy that really brings a lot of energy behind home plate. Quintero, that same kind of reputation. So if you're the Astros and you're 40 games below 500,
you need some energy,
and you're out for a while, you miss a guy. You miss a guy like that.
Well done, right.
Uh-oh.
That was the curveball you wanted so badly, Darren, but it missed. I guess.
I think he fooled everyone.
Looks like a strike. No. No, it didn't matter. You like that curveball, don't you?
I like the curveball. His manager likes the curveball. You can't throw it too much, as you've made it clear.
I just think he's still developing confidence in it. He is a very confident thrower of his fastball and his changeup. He's working on being a confident curveball thrower. Would you say that's correct?
Yes.
Oh, just for you, Darren. Drop it right in there for strike one. And like I said, I think it's a good early in the count breaking ball. Just like that. Now you go to work with the other stuff.
Fastball 0-2, the count to J.B. Shuck.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. That curveball, it's a balloon.
It's got a big bend to it. Comes out up before it goes down. Fastball 1-2, the count. The fan in me, and this is not the broadcaster, the fan in me would love to see him give it a shot at some point with 2 strikes.
Well, he did it with the pitcher. That's
fastball in on the hands. Ryan Roberts puts it away.
Another really good, clean, crisp inning from Josh Coleman. And his curveball.
Upton to lead it off. He has flied to center field to start this ball game. He was 3 for 5 last night with a double and a homer, and 4 runs batted in. Fastball, a little emphasis on that one as it misses away at 94 miles an hour. 1-0 the count on Upton. Montero waits on deck. Chris Young behind him. 2-0. Last 20 games for Upton, he's got 29 hits. But follow me here. 19 of the 29 hits are extra base hits.
That's just murdering the baseball.
Off the glove of a diving Paredes into left field. Upton thinking about it. And Jimmy Paredes.
He's hurting. That one got him right in the thumb. And it was another laser beam shot off the bat of Upton. Kind of overdives it, takes it right on the thumb area. Ow. Watch the top of the glove, the thumb area. Bang, right there.
Boy.
And boy, that hurts. That really hurts.
He worked too hard to earn the right to be out there, so he'll shake it off. Upton a brief call of time to get ready to go. Miguel Montero, who walked and scored back in the first inning.
I'm sorry, Darren, so many young players, players in their 20s. And we were talking about this with Miguel Montero before the game, Darren. So many of these young players, they have to be considered veterans.
Yeah.
Justin Upton is in his 5th year in the big leagues. He's a veteran. Stephen Drew no longer with him. He's in his 20s. He's a veteran. Miguel Montero has been up since 2006. He's a veteran. Chris Young, right in the same boat. Wouldn't you say it's time to call them veterans?
Yes, absolutely.
Willie Bloomquist is out there. Certainly he's bounced around, but he's 35 years old. So people that say, yes, these Diamondbacks are young, they're right. They're young, but for me, this is a veteran squad. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all, and we were talking about that last year when the club was underachieving. If they had been here too long to be excused as being young players, that was last year.
Right.
Now they've even learned more. They're more wise because of what they've been through. Well, it's funny. You and I have had that
Johnson
conversation.
Is a veteran baseball player.
You bet.
He's been around a while.
Since 2005 with the Atlanta Braves. He's played in the postseason with the Atlanta Braves. You and I have had this conversation with Miguel before the game, as you mentioned. He agreed. He agreed with what you were saying.
You don't have to be an old war horse to be considered a veteran baseball player. You don't have to be in your mid-30s. You just have to have at least, a couple thousand at-bats in the big leagues. A few hundred innings pitched. Obviously J.J. Putz, a veteran.
Oh, 0-2 the count. There's J.J. down on the far end of the bench.
Looking for somebody to mess with.
Miguel chases up, protecting. Our Nissan key to the game. This comes, I'm told, from the production crew.
Really? What is it tonight?
It is just win, baby.
But I'm not an Oakland Raider fan.
And I'm guessing that the Cardinals.
That's the
Raiders.
That's Al Davis's famous quote.
The Cardinals, the football Cardinals, play the Raiders tomorrow.
They're going to be up there. They're going to invade the black hole and hammer them. That one got Miguel Montero, so a 1-2 pitch hits Montero. He'll be a free base runner.
I'm told this is why it is the key to the game. That's a very, very average key to the game.
Well,
it's the right point, though.
And Darren, if you just win, baby, if you go Al Davis tonight, you're going to have sole possession of first place. This is the 3rd time on this homestand, just on this homestand, Darren, that they've had an opportunity with San Francisco losing to take sole control of first place. They have not done that yet. So if you go Al Davis and just win, baby, you're in sole possession of first place. Just win, baby. And Cardinals going to go up there and hammer them.
Oh, football.
Yes. No, the baseball Cardinals are losing to the Brewers again.
Well, because the Brewers will never lose again. 0-1 the count. Inside, Chris Young, 1-1 the count. Couple runners on, trying to add on Chris Young. Just to finish that thought, may as well. Milwaukee leads St. Louis 5-1 in the 9th inning. That's in St. Louis, and it's almost over. One and one. Johnson waits on deck. Broke his bat, coming on in to make the play out there. The third baseman, Paredes. So the quiet couple of weeks continues for Chris Young. Good pitch.
He just got eaten up by a fastball running in on his hands, obviously. Bat goes in a bunch of pieces and an easy little top spin lob over to Paredes at third base.
Kelly takes a pitch that dives right out of the zone. Kelly's played 52 games at home, 53 away from home. Kelly hitting just over 200 here at Chase Field. And only 20 points higher on the road. High pop up. Easy chance into left field. Find out more about Kachinko, section 111 here at Chase Field. Interactive kiosk there is always a winner, and of course it's brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Kachinko. Paul Goldschmidt with his third and fourth Major League RBIs. They came back in the first inning when he rocketed a ball past Jimmy Paredes at third.
What a big hit that ends up being. 2 outs. Turn what could have been a bend but don't break inning for Sosa. And you get that big 2-run, 2-out base hit and turns it into a nice little kick to the backside for Sosa in his first major league start. Well, that's a nice slider there to even the count.
Maybe the best pitch he's thrown on the night.
That was a dandy.
The 1-1. Went right back to it, and why not? 1-2 the count on Goldschmidt. Still being very respectful of his teammates that you, I think, rightly called veteran teammates, Goldschmidt, but starting to appear a little bit more comfortable in the major leagues. Not the wrong kind of comfortable, but gaining a little bit more confidence. Chasing outside. 3 sliders in a row, some good ones. He strands a pair, and the second and the third innings much more respectable for Sosa.
APS, May 26, 2001. Curt Schilling was perfect for 7 1/3. He had retired 22 in a row until Ben Davis dropped down a butt in the air in front of Jay Bell. There was controversy surrounding that game. It was a win, though. Bell, Mark Graves, Reggie Sanders helped to drive in enough runs. It was his 8th win of the year. In 2001, our AT&T trivia question surrounding the event: what was Curt Schilling's record at the end of May 2001? Our AT&T trivia question. Number 38.
Man, the answer is, I don't know.
Want to
Holy
know
smokes.
the count to Jose Altuve.
Why don't we just divide some polynomials while we're at it?
High pop-up. That one is put away in center field. Altuve is erased. What were your thoughts on that bunt for base hit by Mr. Davis?
The game has changed so much just in the 10 years that's happened. I think the media and that includes broadcasters, that includes all sports radio writers, anybody that follows baseball, fans. I think they're fine with it. Most players don't like it. That might have been the only bunt base hit Ben Davis ever got in his career.
Well, and I think that's where I think the media might join in and agree with you on that, because if it's part of your game, if you're Vince Coleman, I have always been bothered by the fact that anyone would ever have a problem with someone who is an infield hitter or a guy who bunts for hits. At any point in the game, you should never shut your game down. But you're a catcher, and you don't bunt for hits.
And like I said, there's those manhood rules in all sports. Like, there used to be that hockey players, you're a wimp if you wore a face shield. Oh, dear. Didn't get the call there from Dan Iasonia.
2-2 the count on J.D. Martinez. One more time.
Looked like a pretty good one there. Didn't get the call.
2-2. We'll do it again.
Or if you got hit by a pitch, you didn't rub it. It's a manhood type of things. And we were always brought up as professionals in the minor leagues. If there's something special going on, you kind of break it up like a man.
Change up on a dandy. That's strike 3 to J.D. Martinez.
And now, mind you, this was 10 years ago when I was still playing. But I think the game has changed a lot. There's a beautiful changeup, disposes of Martinez. So I think it's a much kinder, gentler game than it used to be. Guys used to get drilled after when a home run was hit in front of them. That doesn't happen anymore.
Did Curt hit the next batter?
No, because it was like a
tight game.
Yeah, it was, and that's the other thing that made the bunt more okay, because it was a close game. Brought the tying run to the plate.
High pop up, shallow
I want to hear
center.
what you have to say.
Long
As Josh
run.
Coleman continues to just cruise. He's kind of putting on a Curt Schilling first 4 innings.
Hey, I'll talk about Colementor. He's doing this work in 2011. score. By the way, that was win number, and I said it in the read, 8. He had a 2.77 ERA. Gerardo Parra to lead it off. The Diamondbacks have dealt with a Henry Sosa who I think is finally getting his feet under him a little bit in the major leagues. He looked much better in the second inning. That was a little bit of a mess in the third inning, but got right out of it.
Yeah, first 2 guys of the inning got on base, but he cleaned it up quickly and nicely, and he's cruising right along here. But he trails 3-zip in the 4th.
2-1 the count. All right, in that 8 slot, having a fabulous year. Bunts right through it. 2-2 the count. You know, you talk about hitting in the 8-hole, not knowing quite what to do. This season, the 8-hole hitter for the Diamondbacks, 2nd in the National League, 5th in on base, and number 1 in slugging percentage. With that number 1 in slugging percentage, I'd love it if Gerardo drove it in the gap.
I can see that as well.
It's a great graphic, though. Good information on the ground. Ranging, fielding, and firing is Clint Barmas.
Relive the magic of 2001 during World Championship Reunion Weekend, September 9th through the 11th, presented by Gila River Casinos. Join us on Sunday, September 11th, as we recognize our everyday heroes, and the first 15,000 fans will take home a patriotic Stars and Stripes t-shirt. Call 602-462-4790 or visit dbacks.com/reunion.
1-0 the count to Josh Colmenter, who grounded back to the mound in the second inning. That one is inside. 2-0 the count. Yes, Parra in that 8 slot. He has now been retired, but only Jonathan Lucroy of the Milwaukee Brewers, a better number 8 hitter. Well, that's interesting. That's in the majors. That's in the majors, where you have a DH in the other league or someone behind you, you know, middle infielder. Alex Avila is 3rd behind Parra.
Alex Avila can hit
when he bats 8th. It's interesting.
The catcher for the Detroit Tigers. He's an all-star.
That one is ball 4. How about Josh Colmenter? 2nd walk since he has arrived in the major leagues. He is on. And now Willie Bloomquist.
Willie got this game started with a bang. He hit one in the seats in left center field to lead off the game. The very first batter that Henry Sosa faced in his major league life. Kaboom.
That one is outside. That's good net sound on that highlight.
I love that.
That was great.
Got us. We were kind of had us shaking our booties up here.
Great stuff. Fred Dominagoni in there in the audio booth. Dennis Lamb upstairs, keeping everything working upstairs. Our audio technician and around the ballpark. The best sound in baseball, best crew in baseball, though.
Hardest working. Do a great job. And we're very lucky, Darren Sutton, you and I.
Petey with us as well. 1-1 the count. Arizona with all 3 of their runs in the first inning. Hoping to move into first place all alone, chasing outside. 1-2 the count. They have spent 9 days alone in first place this season. 9 days. But the largest lead they have had, Kirk Gibson's squad, is if they win tonight, that same lead. They have been no further than a half game ahead of anyone in first place. They spent 10 other days tied in first place. As that one is outside. The last time Arizona was in first place alone after August 9th was back in 2008.
So,
but that was
they've been due.
That was a fading team.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
This is more of a charging team, you know, for what they've done this year.
Henry Sosa's starting to really like that slider of his. He's throwing a good one.
Bouncing ball could be two. There's one. There's two. Carlos Lee over there at first. Be all right? A double play. El Caballo stretching it out. As only El Caballo can. Might want to look away, kids. To summarize, Willie Bloomquist with a long ball. His fourth of the year, Arizona. Early and often, Paul Goldschmidt, he singled in a pair, a hot shot, and then Josh Colbenter. So far, so very good for the right-hander. Fastballs up, changeup that have been effective. You have seen big outs with a fastball because he has thrown a handful of curveballs. And Willie Bloomquist there for him offensively, certainly. Now ready to play shortstop behind Josh. Ryan Bogusevic, Jimmy Paredes, and Clint Barmas to lead it off against Colmenter. So far, so good. A clean outing for the right-hander. He has thrown 60 pitches. Change up, 0-1 the count.
Pitching with a lot of confidence, isn't he? You can just see it in his body language. He is liking what he's doing.
Fastball backs him out of there. Bogusevic pitched in the minor leagues, was actually signed as a pitcher, made 64 starts before they converted him to an outfielder. Under the glove of Goldschmidt, goes into right field. So Bogusevic is on. And
yeah, a bit of a jam shot. It gets in on Bogusevic. And Goldschmidt just didn't get that glove down in time. It got right underneath it. Right underneath it goes.
First hit of the ball game.
Maybe overdove it. That's one of those you're in between. You don't know whether to dive or to stay on your feet. You end up doing both. It's kind of what happened there with Goldschmidt.
So now left-handed hitting Jimmy Paredes. Belts it over the head of Goldschmidt. Upton will play it as he gets to the track. Firing it back in. On a hop to second base. Runners are on second and third. So a single, not very hard hit, but right behind it a double that was, well, more
crushed,
like we have seen from the Astros in the first 2 games.
That one made that sound. Fastball middle, trying to come inside. That time, that one was past Goldschmidt before he could get his glove up. Oh, what a rope off the bat of Paredes. And these Houston Astros now, after their starting pitcher is settled in, they're going to try to score a couple here.
Clint Barmas struck out. He didn't go around that pitch up, didn't get the chase. Trying to keep a clean outing as part of his work tonight for Cole Mentor. The Arizona starters have been really struggling their last 6 times out. Ian was pretty good, but otherwise it's been a tough go of it. Change up on 1-0. That's a good looking pitch. But whether you're a Dodger or whether you're an Astro, you have been pretty comfortable against Diamondback starting pitching. Into the catcher's mitt it goes. 1-2.
That previous changeup just made that 88-mile-an-hour fastball look that much better.
Let's see what he goes back with. 1-2 the count. Hit his spot. He wanted it up. It's popped up. Upton racing. That one bounces and into the seats it goes. And because of the struggles by the starting pitchers, that's why it has been an uphill battle. Heck, even last night, coming from the sky down 7-1 in that game. That's not the Diamondbacks. They don't have the very best starting rotation in the National League. I think we all know that by now, but that's not Arizona.
Well, nobody's is that bad. It's just been a bad week. But hey, if you can sneak a couple of wins out of those games, you're ahead of the game. Stole one last night from these Houston Astros.
Came right back in at the knees, so the count one more time. 1-2 the count. Barmas 2 of 2 in this series with runners in scoring position, with a couple of RBIs. There's a couple of them out there in scoring position. Nobody out. An RBI man looking on in Carlos Lee as that one is popped up into shallow right center field. That one dumps in for a base hit. Clark will stop the runner at third. For some reason, the throw goes to the plate.
Justin missed the cutoff man for absolutely zero reason. There wasn't even a play at the plate. There was nobody coming. Little flare right here. One run's going to score, but now Paredes, he's just going to stop at third base, and Justin throwing it in, launched it, and now Barmas heads up base running. Now Houston with an easy chance here to tie the ball game.
Curveball into the dirt it goes. So breaks that curveball out. So an errant throw like that, is there no error there?
I think he just advanced to second base on the throw home.
There was no reason to throw home.
Well, I understand that.
Popped up into center field. Breaking back now, having to come on, and it drops in. Oh, my goodness.
Boy, Justin Upton and Chris Young having a rough time judging these little flares. Young broke back on that ball. That would have been an easy out. But Young broke back on it, and it fell in front of him, and another run's going to score. Boy, the Diamondbacks defensively coming unglued here.
Again.
In the 5th inning.
For the 3rd straight game.
Yeah. Justin missed a cutoff man. That cost him a base. Now, Chris Young got a poor jump on that little shallow fly ball to center field. That drops for a base hit. Now, these Houston Astros not only look to tie it up, but take the lead in this ball game.
And you never know. Young is not known for the strongest of arms, but with the momentum coming forward, not being that far behind the infield, they would have sent the runner or no?
Well, no. When it's that shallow, you can't be tagging up.
So there you go.
Because it might be a base hit. The runner was halfway. If it's caught, Paredes has to stay at third base. But it goes for a base hit. 4 base hits in a row here to start the top of the 5th inning after Coleman was just in cruise control.
Sosa drops down a thing of beauty. Time for the out, moves the runner up to second base. Runner at third stays put. Sacrifice bunt there for Henry Sosa, who had 4 in the minor leagues this year.
Gorgeous bunt, right? What you want to do is put it softly down the third base line. Ryan Roberts has no play other than first base. And now a base hit is going to give these Houston Astros a 4-3 lead.
So they look to J.B. Shuck, who in 4 years of minor league baseball is a .303 hitter with a .384 on base. 6th round pick out of Ohio State. Pops that one up and into the seats it goes. So recently Shuck just called up to the major leagues. He's only 3 of 12 in the big leagues, and his father trying to get there to see his son play, making the trip from Ohio. Had to change planes in Charlotte, somewhere in the Carolinas, JB said. Well, flight delayed, eventually flight canceled. Changing planes, wasn't able to make it till mid-game.
Coleman has been pounding Shuck in the entire game with fastballs. He's gotten 2 jam shot pop-ups, and that was a little jam shot foul ball right there. I would imagine Coleman and Miguel Montero are going to continue to stay in there and try to get an easy pop-up here off the bat of Shuck.
Oh, and 1 the count. Both teams have 4 hits. Three plays you look at in this inning, but there are no miscues under the error column. One just under the glove of Goldschmidt, an overthrow of a cutoff man by Upton, and one under the glove of Young as he charged in late. They do come back in there. It is a pop-up. Well, they stuck to the game plan, and the key is Coleman executed.
Once again, they want it in, and they jam Shuck. I mean, straight up the elevator shaft it goes. Montero stays right there on the home plate area dirt and gets a big second out. And now for Josh Coleman, you got to keep the accelerator pressed. You cannot have a mental lapse right here. If you get through this, because there's been some shoddy defense in this inning, if you can find a way to get through this with just 2 runs, you pitched beautifully, if you ask me.
Altuve chases down below his knees. And the count is 0-1. Josh pitched against the Astros back in May. He received a no decision, but the Diamondbacks beat Houston 4-2. He pitched well, 6 innings, 2 runs. It's a different team he's facing now. All the kids up from the minor leagues. Change up, 0-2 the count. Caught him over aggressive.
Best change up of the night there from Coleman. So a good fastball to start him. Now a good change up to get to 0-2.
That came from the same plane as the fastball the pitch before. A decoy inside by Montero, and into the dirt it goes.
Good block there from Montero. Montero
was stomping with his foot very close to Altuve, trying to Make him think he was calling for a pitch inside. Montero, not a very tall man as well, but even crouched down, Altuve just a couple of heads taller. 5'6", 5'7", if that. Fastball, bouncing ball. Ryan Roberts on a cross. Nice play, Roberts.
Nice job by Coleman of pitching around some below average defense.
This the pop-up in the last inning. Upton came in on the one hop. They had stopped the runner at third and just missed the cutoff man. Eric Young found him when he got back in the dugout, Grayson.
I think that's the body language there, right, is Justin knows he made a mistake and he's trying to explain to him what happened. I'm sure Eric probably said, all right, just make sure you focus on hitting the cutoff man, and you're due up second this inning. Go ahead and hit a homer. How about the job Josh Coleman did?
Coach Eric Young.
How about the job Josh Coleman did keeping that as a 2-run inning? I thought that was beautiful pitching.
Yeah, he's pretty unflappable. I mean, he has never really. He may have gotten hit around on occasion hard, but he's never been a guy that really buckles. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to armed forces, U.S. armed forces in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea in Iraq and Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome, and we thank you for your service. Pitch is low. 1-2 the count. What are you thinking of Sosa here?
After the first inning jitters, he's found that slider. He's been throwing some very good sliders. There's one there. It wasn't very good, but it was just enough off speed that Roberts was way out in front of it. And he is doing a great job of keeping his team in striking distance.
He pitched this year in Fresno and Oklahoma City and Richmond and Corpus Christi, for San Francisco and for Houston. This, of course, if you're just joining us, is the Major League debut for Henry Sosa.
Throwing a lot of sliders now, isn't he? I would too. He's got a good one.
0-1 the count, Justin Upton. Well, and a funny little twist, too. The San Francisco Giants are certainly pulling for one of their very own, at least used to be one of their very own. Signed and developed Sosa by the Giants, was in the trade for Jeff Keppinger. Don't you know the Giants are pulling for this young man tonight as an Astro?
You would think so.
Coming back our way. Bounces up above and now down below. I bet you could hear that one at home. Got one of the signs up above us there. Quintero tells him to shake him off. He says, give me that slider away. Boy, he hit a spot there.
Good pitch. Nice job by Upton spoiling that one.
You see that play down there by that young man. Very nice play. Brought his glove to the ballpark. Hot shot. Upton is on the move. Fired back in, way over the head of the second baseman, and a double for Justin Upton.
Well, he is just scalding the baseball. Fastball in, fastball ripped once again past a sprawling Jimmy Paredes. I mean, this ball was hit so hard. My goodness, he had no chance. Now, another extra base hit, as you said, Darren.
He leads the National League in doubles, does Justin Upton. He leads the National League in total bases. And he adds to that total. Beltran out for the next couple of days, putting him further in his rearview mirror. You know, again, just to go back to for Upton, because it deserves to be said, of his last 31 hits, 20 of them are extra base hits.
Isn't that amazing? It has been a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to cover. Go ahead and score a run and make up for that little miscue out in the outfield.
The 1-0. Into the dirt it goes. Remember, Willie Bloomquist last night had a miscue. He had a chance to atone for it. He did a couple of times with his bat, with his glove. Yes, if Justin happens to score a run, he's also in the top 5 in that category, too. He has scored 74 times as that one is rolled out. Carlos Lee kind of tiptoes through the tulips on over to the bag. El Caballo.
El Caballo, he is some kind of hitter.
You used to call him not El Caballo, which is the horse. You had another name for him.
He's Ferdinand the Bull. Especially out in left field.
It's harder to be Ferdinand on the infield.
Especially out in left field. You know, he's a great hitter, but as a left fielder, he's kind of like Ferdinand the Bull. He liked to just sit out there and smell the flowers.
An RBI man, no doubt about it. Runner moved to third and Upton. That one is a high strike. Anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase, 4 to 6 the following day.
Good time for Chris Young to snap out of it here. He needs to get a big hit. Diamondbacks need to get that run back or 2 that they just gave up in the 5th inning.
0-2 the count.
He sat there and looked at 2 fastballs pretty much middle of the plate go by, which tells me he's getting caught looking for sliders.
Again, you got to wonder the effects that Young may be battling through that hand and thumb area from around the All-Star break. The 0-2. Well, looks good there. He belts it deep left field off the base of the wall. For Young, he leaned on it. Maybe that hand feeling better. Because for Chris, that is his first extra base hit in now his last 17 games. It's a double, a huge double. He drove his buddy in.
And I think Sosa thought he was looking for a slider again because he throws an awful 0-2 pitch. Fastball right down Broadway. Bang! Off the bat it goes. Short hops the wall. And Chris Young driving in a big run and getting some momentum back in the Diamondback side of things. He beats J.Q. Martinez on the fly. Upton cruises on home. And Kelly Johnson now looking to add on. Oh, he got a good rip at a fastball.
Young was 0 for his last 11. And oh, by the way, both outfielders that struggled defensively have already atoned for their miscues. Both outfielders. Upton overthrowing the head of a cutoff man. Chris Young struggling to find the beat on a baseball. And both part of atoning for their mistakes. The 1-1. Broke his bat, rolled by the bag. Altuve flips it on over. Good to see Chris Young finding that extra base hit stroke, driving in his good buddy.
Presented by Hanco. Makers.
Could have been big trouble. Started off that way. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning, cool play. Couple of miscues in the outfield ended up being costly, but the coolest part about it was Cole Mentor. Not breaking a sweat, working his way right through it, not panicking, getting back into the dugout, picking up his outfield teammates. Then they picked themselves and him up by combining to put a run on the scoreboard.
That's exactly right. And we saw it last night from Willie Bloomquist. Made a big error. Led to 3 unearned runs. Well, what do? You make up for it. Oh, look at you, Darren Sutton, with the first pitch curveball. That one almost got his buddy El Caballo, Carlos Lee, on deck. Carlos Lee had to go running from that foul ball.
Actually, the count 0-2. We were showing you the highlight. So a second pitch curveball, 0-2 the count. That one is up and away, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Martinez. Not a bad idea.
Inside corner.
So Montero was taking some batting practice this past winter. That one is outside.
3-2.
Stepped into the cage, did Miguel Montero. And the balls just whizzed right past him. Couldn't even catch up with him. Well, he noticed it as that one is popped up to the right side. Over to make the play is Goldschmidt.
So far, Josh Colementer's done a very good job on J.D. Martinez. 2 strikeouts and a pop-up.
Well, Montero couldn't handle anything in the batting cage at all. It was blowing right by him. There were some younger players hitting in the cage before him with professional experience. They were handling it just fine. Rockets, that sound off the bat. He turned around, found himself, the young man who was hitting in the cage, with the fastballs that he said were just too much for me in the middle of the winter. And it was J.D. Martinez. Inable at that point.
Killing the baseball. And the big leaguer was getting overmatched.
He said, here I am. I've got all this time in the big leagues. I'm supposed to be a guy that plays every day. Can we dial the velocity down a bit on this machine?
Throwing too hard.
It's the winter time. Willie Bloomquist fires in time. An 0-2 curveball, folks. He got him to ground out on an 0-2 curveball. Now I'm really happy.
Oh, man. My partner now starting to get a little burn in his saddle now when he's starting to see all these breaking balls. Nice play by Bloomquist right there, ranging to his left and firing a rocket shot over to Goldschmidt. 2 quick outs, having a nice shutdown inning after his team went out and put a run on the board for him. And then, by the way, this is right through the heart of the order. Martinez, Lee, and another easy out here. Do it, Josh Coleman. 1, 2, 3. Go the Houston Astros. Josh Coleman back in control.
Chalk outline with number
that's
51
great.
written in the middle.
I'm sure everybody remembers that story, right?
For people that don't remember, Randy got a base hit to the wall, I believe. He hit it to the wall or off the wall. And Randy was going around first base, and he...
like a young giraffe.
Don't forget, it's after the game on Sunday, the Mets-Diamondbacks game. It's Mark Grace's Diamondbacks Championship Theater, brought to you by Fry's. Matt Williams with you.
Matty and I had a lot of fun doing that one.
1-1 the count to Paul
We
Goldschmidt.
got to poke a little fun at Randy Johnson on that.
Give him the business. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Steady diet of sliders now to Goldschmidt after he banged a base hit in the first inning for 2 runs on a fastball. Let's see if he gets another slider here. I would imagine so. Yeah. Goldschmidt doesn't like those, at least not from Sosa.
Right over the top. He singled in a pair. He has also struck out twice, Paul Goldschmidt. Now Gerardo Parra. Fly to left field and grounded out to short. 4-2 is the score. In the bottom half of inning number 6. This is game 3, but this is a 4-game series. Or it takes that one right out of the catcher's mitt and fouls it off. Earlier today, if you're just getting home and settling in, Pittsburgh beat San Francisco and beat them handily. 9-2 is the final score. So right now, Arizona tied with the Giants in first place. Based on the result of tonight's game, they'll either be a half game up or remain a half game back. Well, you bet it's moving day. Got to pack up and get going. Out front, off speed, looked like a changeup there. 2 outs. I think overall, Brad Mills has to be in a positive frame of mind, seeing what his pitcher has done to Kirk Gibson's squad. Now, he'd love for him to be winning and pitching a shutout, but there's something I think you can work with in the major leagues in that arm.
Well, when he's locating like he is tonight, there's a lot to work with.
We have seen many a pitcher really crumble in their major league debut, especially with a start like he has had.
There you go.
1, 2, 3 here in the bottom half of inning number 6. He's given up 4. Arizona on top, 4-2. From Josh Colmenter. He's thrown it tonight. He's thrown it early in counts. The majority of the time it's been early in counts, just to show it. But he's also thrown it there. That's an 0-2 pitch. It's got a little bump in it. And I think, as you said, I think you were sharing with us as a former major league hitter before the game very effectively. If you were a hitter, Gracie, and dealing with a pitcher that only ever threw you 2 pitches, how would you approach that pitcher?
I would probably go up there, see which one he feels like. Oh, you'd study him and say, okay, he's 75% this pitch, 25% that pitch. I would probably go up there and look for that 1 pitch and 1 pitch only for the entire at bat. And if he throws me the other pitch 3 times, he's going to get me. But if he leaves the pitch I'm looking for in the middle of the plate, I'm going to swing it with bad intentions. That's probably what I would try to do.
The 0-1.
Oh, look at the curveball. A bowel locker.
0-2 the count.
On Paredes. Watch the, whoa! Right to the inside part of the plate it goes.
Into the dirt it goes. He threw it again. Really threw it hard there. Spiked it.
I think a good old changeup right now should take care of Jimmy Paredes. Let's see if he throws him one.
The 1-2. Fastball. Glove by Kelly. The throw. Got him.
And a beautiful play on the other end again by Goldschmidt. Great play on both ends. Kelly Johnson and Paul Goldschmidt to get the streaking Jimmy Paredes. Boy, and just to get enough on the throw and the dig by Goldschmidt. Good call over there by first base umpire Dale Scott. Well, what a play by Kelly Johnson. We love keeping that speed off the base paths, too.
Change up, pop back to the screen. 94 pitches now for Goldschmidt. The defense there for him. By the way, of the 94 pitches, 10 of them curveballs. And that's plenty. You're now upping that number.
And that's what we were saying earlier. About 10 or 12 curveballs, all you need. But now he's kind of liking what he's got with it so far.
The 1-1. Well, if you listen closely to Kirk Gibson, when he speaks with the media before the game, he'll give you nothing while giving you everything at times. Just sliding that curveball mentioned in there at the very end of the quote that you heard earlier in the game. Changeup popped up. To me, if I'm to go back and remember how he said it, talked about locating the fastball. Obviously, he needs to get ahead. He needs to gain confidence. Pause. And you know how I feel about him needing to throw more curveballs.
And he needs to throw a few more curveballs.
Which means to me that he spoke with him pretty firmly about it.
He wants him to become a 3-pitch pitcher, not a 2-pitch pitcher.
There it is. Right back to the
mound. Darren, you might be onto something, son. I think he likes it tonight. I think Kirk Gibson likes that a lot. And this thing stays up in the zone, but it's just such a 8-foot drop.
Different look.
Yeah. You just don't see. Clint Barham has probably never seen a curveball like that from that angle.
And that's the thing that I think when you're looking to put that pitch into a box, as that fastball paints the outside to Quintero, there's no sense because you can't really put anything that Josh does into a box.
That's exactly right.
Fastball fouled off. CenturyLink high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. 95-89. Good friends and partners with CenturyLink. The 0-2. Fastball chased out over the plate.
Awfully impressive there. That was pitch number 101 from Josh Coleman. Now the question there, is he going back out for the 8th?
Joe Borowski, and Joe, obviously a bounce-back performance by Josh Coleman tonight. So what has impressed you most about him?
No secret, Todd. Tonight's game was important for the Diamondbacks and for Josh Coleman. He struggled his last 2 starts. I'll break down his outing and show you exactly how he got back on the right track and a new wrinkle.
You like that wrinkle, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right, guys. Plenty of baseball left, though. We'll send it back to you in the booth.
Josh Coleman to look forward to talking with you guys. They found him. Handshakes all around. It appears as if he is done with 7 innings, 2 runs allowed. His manager comes and finds him. So they overhear the conversation. It looks like he is done. Bullpen going to work. 7 innings. Just, and I mean just when his staff needed him to do that. You hoped with, as Wilton Lopez fires strike one. Comes on with our Verizon call to the bullpen 51 times this year. You were hoping maybe clean things up, give your team 5, maybe 6. Willie Bloomquist into left center field. And the big fella out there runs it down. J.D. Martinez.
Got a nice jump on that ball and ran it down.
Don't forget to log on to FoxSportsArizona.com. Training camps all around ASU, U of A, the Cardinals. 4-2 the score. Doubled and scored, grounded to short, and struck out Roberts. Takes the first pitch. Looks like Brian Shaw in that cut fastball warming.
Long inning of work for David Hernandez last night. Wouldn't shock me at all if he wasn't available.
Roberts very quietly having a fine season. And I mean quietly on the national scene. Arizona fans know exactly who he is. Right back and into center field. Reaches again, does Ryan Roberts. A big offensive season being had by Aramis Ramirez in Chicago. Pablo Sandoval technically doesn't qualify in this category because of the injury. But these are the guys over 800. League average players at 715 and on-base plus slugging. He's played a very good third base. And Ryan Roberts, again, on a national level below the radar, but not here. Not in Arizona. Certainly not in that locker room. Upton slices that one into right field. Roberts picking him up and putting him down. Justin Upton with another 3-hit night. My goodness.
And another rocket. This time into the right center gap. 2 down the left field line, 1 into right center. That's when a guy is just completely dialed in. Doesn't matter what you're throwing. Fastball, curveball, slider, change. In, out, up, down, fast, slow. He's covering everything right now. Roberts easily getting to third, and we're going to get a pitching change as Miguel Montero strides to the plate. Brad Mills going to stride out to the mound. He's going to remove Lopez. Give me the ball. There you go.
I don't hear words saying, only the echoes of my mind.
All brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited rewards seats with no blackout dates. Kia Motors. To learn more, visit phxkia.com. The Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. So looking to add on these Arizona Diamondbacks. Ryan Roberts got things going with a single. Justin Upton, his 10th 3-hit game of the season. 10th 3-hit game. He singled into right field. Miguel Montero goes to work, a left-handed hitter, obviously, as we well know. That means a call to the bullpen yields a left-handed pitcher. Sergio Escalona goes to work with a 2.74 ERA. Another Verizon call to the bullpen. Lefty's hitting just 176 against him.
That's why he's in there. Miguel Montero starting to swing the bat a little bit better after about a 10-day dry spell. He's looking to add on. Diamondbacks need to add on, Darren. 6 outs away from first place.
Miguel trying to make sure that batting glove feels just right before he hits.
Take a big old bite out of it.
He's just gnawing on it. That went over the outside corner. Talk about the outs that they're looking to earn. They know that the Pirates took care of business for them. 9-2. As that one is over the outside corner. 0-2 the count to Montero.
Couple of beautifully placed sliders there right on the outside corner. Now you go into survival mode if you're Miguel Montero. Somehow, some way, you got to put the ball in play.
How far away does it go?
Justin Upton got left at the post over at first base. That would have been a nice one to move up on, because then you take yourself out of the double play if you move up to second base. But he got left at the post.
Quintero did the best that he could. Upton must have seen it in another spot. Now you pull that Montero doesn't hit it onto the ground. In on the corners, couple of steps in the middle of the infield as that one waved at, interestingly enough. That is strike 3. That was an ugly changeup, I believe.
Well, they're never ugly when they're strikeout pitches.
You're right.
But yeah, that's not where he wanted it, certainly. Miguel Montero chases a changeup up around his letters. That'll be a forgetful at bat for Miguel.
Now Mr. Mills is ready to go to that bullpen again. He used his lefty, trying to explain that changeup to Carlos Lee, who's laughing at him.
Yeah, nice job. Keep doing it.
We'll step aside. We'll reset the situation. 4-2. Till 9 o'clock, an hour of great state. Glad to have you back with us. Bright lights, big city, bright lights, indoor ballpark, and the Diamondbacks hope that they're shining their lights brightly on the first base spot. First place spot, better said. 4-2 is the score. Chris Young. Fulcino gets the call.
He's been around for a couple of years now in that bullpen. A 4.70 ERA. 5 long balls allowed in 30 innings.
That's a lot.
You bet that's a lot.
That's too many. Well, it didn't get the call. Looked like Dan Iasonia wanted to call it. That right arm flinched pretty well, but it's ball 1.
Arizona the last 2 nights, 4 of 10 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Kind of started, I'm guessing, last night about the 5th or 6th inning. Upton draws the throw. It's dropped. Here comes the runner to the plate. Scores standing up. Took off early. Thought he may draw some sort of a pickoff throw to get in a rundown. That didn't happen. Then you find out it's just better to be lucky than good.
Well, he gets caught, but now Fulcino doesn't know what to do. And the throw is dropped. It would have been out at second. But once the throw's dropped by Barmes, scampering home is Ryan Roberts, and what a huge add-on, fortunate run for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
(5-2) is now the score. Stolen base for Upton, error on the pitcher Fulcino to allow the run to score. That's how you score it. Young swing and a miss over the top of a changeup. 1-2 the count.
Don't really know how that could be on Fulcino, the pitcher. He threw the baseball right where he needed to throw it.
Agreed.
Barmes dropped the ball.
1-2. Johnson waits on deck. He went around on a pitch into the dirt. Opts not to run as he drops the bat down. Aggressive base running. In the end, a little bit of luck helps off as well. 5-2. Top of Houston. Tomorrow, join us. We'll be back on Fox Sports Arizona. Joe Saunders, 3.67 ERA. Last couple of months, very effective, the left-hander, against Brett Myers, the veteran right-hander, who has taken a step back from where he was a season ago. Angel Sanchez will hit in the pitcher's spot. Sanchez at 252, a home run 25 batted in. There's kind of the starting pitcher's corner down there. Joe sitting by Daniel Hudson, Ian Kennedy, and they keep a trainer nearby at all times. Ken Crenshaw right behind him. Brian Shaw, our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. 3.09 ERA. 69% of those first batters he has gotten. Big time cut fastball. There it is. 93 with teeth as it comes to the plate. Starter, reliever, a little bit of both in the minor leagues out of Long Beach State University. A little topper and it's fouled. 0-2 the count. Well, he's getting 93, 94 on that cut fastball.
He's had a couple of days off. That right arm's nice and fresh. And they're going to need him tonight. Like I said, David Hernandez, a lot of pitches last night, a lot of high-stress pitches last night before he got out of the inning, fortunately. There was no swing and miss there. Angel Sanchez would be on first base as that slider got away.
Now that one a slider, about 10 miles an hour slower than the cut fastball. There's another breaking ball. That one a curveball. Gobbled up. Played out there by Kelly Johnson. So it went cutter, slider, curveball. And Sanchez is done. So now J.B. Shuck. He is 0 for 3. Popped to short, to third, and to the catcher. I think to the catcher, we'll look back on this ball game. That fifth inning at bat is one of the key moments in the baseball game. A couple of miscues in the outfield. They weren't true errors. Play that Goldschmidt kind of overdove at first. Runners on second and third, and maybe a big-time collapse was awaiting Josh Collmenter. Well, he stuck to a game plan that you talked about and buried pitch in after in to Shuck. Popped up to the catcher. Popped up over the head of the shortstop that time. Shuck has himself a base hit. That's his 4th in the major leagues this year.
Take the Diamondbacks wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Diamondbacks game on demand on your computer. Visit dbacks.com for details. MLB.tv. That's baseball everywhere.
After that game is shown tomorrow night, and this series wraps up, the New York Mets come to town over the weekend. We'll have all 3 of those games for you, just as we will have every game for you on the next road trip to Philly, Atlanta, and Washington. 1-0 the count to Altuve. The Arizona bullpen since late July, very good. Last 14 contests, an ERA of 2. Kept the ball in the ballpark as well, as that one is hit hard and into center field. It's a base hit. Altuve. And you knew he wouldn't go long without contributing.
Well, just like that, these Houston Astros bring the tying run to the plate. And the guy that's been the human wrecking ball, and that would be one. J.D. Martinez now going to step into the batter's box. So Brian Shaw going to have to do some fancy dancing. Try to get a ground ball double play. Got to get the ball down in the zone, because this guy can hammer it, and he's got power to all fields.
And he doesn't bite on the cut fastball that dips down and out of there. 1-0 the count to J.D. Martinez. Changeups have been the pitches that he has really leaned on. Homers to left and to right on changeups. That one misses outside. And at times, for a player so young in the game, it's almost eerie how disciplined he can be. Not supposed to be that way.
No. Be careful here.
Boy, a pitch in. Think about what he just did there. Cutter, and then went in.
Just ate him up.
Two and one the count. The 2-1. That one is outside. You talk about the pitches he has worked tonight. 7 pitches in this at bat, 7 pitches in his second at bat, 11 in the at bat before that.
He's got an idea at the plate, boy. There's a reason he was Player of the Year last year in the minor leagues for these guys. All 4. Goodness.
Ziegler, side armor. Patterson, side armor. One's a righty, one's a lefty. Both warming in the pen. Charles Nagy.
Carlos Lee now representing the go-ahead run as Brian Shaw's struggles continue here. An easy first out, then a couple of hard hit balls for base hits, then a walk. Load the bases for the cleanup hitter, Carlos Lee.
Carlos tonight flied to center, flied to left, and grounded to short. You could see all the grand slam home runs we mentioned. You're over 1,200 RBIs. You do it every way you can. Bouncing ball. Gobbled up. Gets it out of his glove. Gets 1 out. On a fine play by Willie Bloomquist. 5-3 is the score. But 2 outs in the inning.
If you're going to make an out in that situation, that is the perfect out to make. A run scores. Both the other runners move up. And now a single off the bat of Bogusevic will tie this baseball game.
And they're going to run. They're going to send in a pinch runner, it looks like. That's how much it means. Jason Bourgeois comes on, the Houston native. Really good speed now out there at second. Bogusevic, swing and a miss, cut fastball right under the swing.
Well, it looks like you can crowd this kid with cut fastballs. I would imagine that's the game plan here on Bogusevic. Just continue to stay right under those hands, right under those knuckles with cut fastballs, and you should be able to dispose of him. There's another one.
Buried it in. Again, he is 93-94 with that cut fastball. Now, last night on a pitch out over the plate, look what he did. Big league home run number 1 for the one-time minor league pitcher.
Now the crowd's starting to get behind Brian Shaw. They want to see another cutter in there right on his belly button and get out of this inning.
High. 1-2 the count.
And just continue to do it. Continue to do it. Stay right in there on that inside corner, maybe a couple inches in. Watch Miguel Montero. He's going to go right to that inside corner. Sure.
Buries it in a cut fastball. Kelly gobbles it up, fires in time for the out. Depot doing more on defense. And Kelly Johnson with a fabulous leading play in this ball game. With Josh Colementor working out there, we have enjoyed watching Kelly continue to grow as a defender in the major leagues. Drafted as a shortstop, moved to the outfield, then finally settled in at second base. Glenn Hubbard spent an entire winter working with him, teaching him the position, as J.B. Shuck now in left field.
And it was just a couple of nights ago, folks, that Darren Sutton was calling for Kelly Johnson to play shortstop. But he's just fine at second base.
He's taking ground balls over at short. Certainly wasn't calling for it. I thought it was interesting.
That was when you were reporting.
I might have even been stirring it up a little bit. Into the dirt it goes. 1-1 the count. Insider sharing that information with me. We'll just say someone close to the organization.
Your sources.
The 1-1. Outside, 2-1 the count. So close that it was Kelly. Honore Rodriguez for the 31st time with a sub-5 ERA. Kelly rockets that one foul. Everyone else is done, by the way. All the other ball games are done.
A lot of day games today.
A lot of day games or East Coast night games that are long done.
Well, this was getaway day for a lot of teams, so you always get that middle of the week day game. You give them a day game to get away.
2-2 the count.
That's why it's going to be so nice to have a day game tomorrow in this 4-game set, a getaway day game.
Well, it is getaway day for the Astros. They will be traveling, but you're in one area. It's a night game tomorrow night. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
What? After a 4-game series, no day game on getaway day?
No day game. It's a night game. 3-2 the count. Pounds that one off the plate. You want to know one reason I like the fact that it's a night game outside? I'm sure the Astros don't like it. Is that all the kids can come for free. They come with an adult. Adult buys a ticket. Just bring the kids on down. Kids had their first day of school today. There's no homework tonight, my girls reported. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. The weigh-in is delivered by the UPS store. What has been your favorite Diamondbacks moment this season and why? Join us online. The road trip going 6-3. And hoping to come home and play like they did on that road trip. And they're starting to do a little bit more.
I think Paul Goldschmidt's going to be happy to see that Henry Sosa and his slider are no longer in the ball game. He got a big hit in the first inning. Drove in a couple of runs with a base hit with 2 outs in the first. That opened up a nice lead for Josh Colementor to pitch comfortably. We're going to have a little meeting on the mound between Quintero and Rodriguez.
Meantime, J.J. Putz is not warming in the bullpen. It's David Hernandez.
He's not really warming. He's kind of standing around. So does that make you think that Shaw's going back out? It's a pretty long inning.
No, I think David's coming in.
Okay, he's just loose.
No, I don't know if he's loose. There's just nobody out. I mean, he may be somewhat loose. I don't think Shaw. I think Shaw went through plenty. J.J. worked last night. Took that pretty hard dive. But not wanting to work him on back-to-back nights. Into the dirt it goes. 1-0 the count. Gibson not speaking at all before the game about Putz and or Hernandez being used. Hernandez threw 30 pitches and Putz threw 20 last night. That one over the outside corner. It's a strike. The 1-1. Boy, went right back to it. A nasty bender. Rodriguez drops it in there. That's kind of been the kryptonite for Goldschmidt tonight when they have gotten him. It's been with sliders.
Yeah, he hasn't enjoyed these Houston Astros sliders very much. He's either swung and missed them or taken them for strikes. Let's see if you can pick one out here and just go ahead and whack it. And he stayed on that one a lot better, but he fouled it straight back.
One and two, the count. 5-3 is the score. Nothing doing there on a pitch out. 2-2. I wonder what somebody would think there, Mr. Mills or Quintero. Got a big-time slugger at the plate. I don't know why you'd pitch out there. 2-2 the count.
Don't ask me.
Now the runner goes. The pitch is low. They throw it down. And Kelly Johnson has a stolen base.
There you have it.
The pitch out, nothing at all doing. And then the next pitch, well, they burned their pitch out. We're going.
And he goes on a breaking ball. The throw's just high enough for Kelly to get that left leg in there. That's a big stolen base.
You had to know breaking ball, right, with Goldschmidt?
And I think that's what Gibby was watching. Gibby was watching like he is getting a steady diet of breaking balls. Let's go ahead and steal it. Oh, he got a hanger there and he missed it. I mean, they're not throwing him anything straight. They're throwing no changeups, no fastballs. Everything's bending.
And Sherlock on the phone talking the situation over. Probably, if in fact they knock in a couple of more runs in this inning, what they'll do. The 3-2. Fastball, strike three, late call on the inside corner. If it grabbed the corner, it barely did. Goldschmidt, along with the single, has struck out 3 times.
Looks like he might have just scratched that inside corner.
So they just finished their phone conversation. I'm told we have a text poll to answer.
Do we now?
Oh, we do. Well, it's a sign. The Giants' recent struggles.
So the Giants are just going to spiral downward the rest of the year, huh?
I'm with the 49%.
I think I'm with the slight minority as well.
I think it is on. It's a pennant race.
I think they're pretty good.
I think it's a good old-fashioned pennant race between these two clubs. Parra takes a pitch outside, but what the Diamondbacks can concern themselves with is the here and the now. Locking up this ball game, whether it's Hernandez or Putz, they'll be a half game up.
Yeah, first things first. You're 3 outs away from first place.
Swing and a miss on a slider into the dirt. 1-1 the count. Gerardo Parra flied to left, grounded to short, flied to center field. Two and one the count. Sean Burroughs is on deck.
That kind of looks like Brian Shaw's still in the ball game, doesn't it? Doesn't it to you?
I would guess. I'd be surprised. That's a strike, 2 and 2.
David Hernandez is not throwing at all. He's just standing out there, and I didn't see him getting loose last inning. I mean, he is not throwing at all.
Well, we mentioned 30 for David, 20 for JJ last night pitches. The 2-2. Well, if you've watched this show before, and we appreciate your support, by the way, the team does, and Gracie and I do, but you know that Gracie and I are all about whenever you can rest Hernandez or Putz, do it.
Agree.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of courage to do it. To not always go to that same tool right out of the toolbox and use it. Not easy for Kirk Gibson. High drive center field, and Parr just make it easier. Off the wall, rattles around, come on down. Here comes Kelly Johnson. Parr into third with a triple. .6-3 the score.
Breaking ball, Parra goes down and just hammers it. And he beats Jason Bourgeois on the fly, and then it's just start the merry-go-round. Matt Williams waving home Kelly Johnson. And Gerardo Parra, as you said, Darren, I think that made that decision a lot easier. Going hard all the way, thinking through.
So now Sean Burroughs. Fastball jumps out of there. Tacos, by the way, taco time, 6 runs. Find yourself a local Taco Bell. Purchase a large drink between 4 and 6, and you'll receive those 3 free tacos. Infield in. Sean, hard ground ball. Carlos Lee comes home with it. Parra and a rundown. Finally, the pitcher covers the tag and the out. So Burroughs moves all the way up. Parra opting there to come on down.
Not sure why, but Burroughs hits it hard, but he hits it right at El Caballo. And now it's just an easy rundown. Pitcher makes the tag there, and Burroughs moves up to second base.
So Parra high fives all around. Are there times where you just decide as the staff or as the base runner you're going on contact no matter what?
Yeah, but not in that situation.
That's why I asked. Didn't make much sense.
If it's a tie ball game or something like that, and you want to force them to make a play, you're just going on contact no matter what. But not when you're up 3.
Over the inside corner, 1-1 the count to Willie Bloomquist. Bloomquist homered to kind of nudge that confidence meter forward a little bit. Now this is a club that's starting play tied for first, but a club that has been hitting late. I mean, and has been being batted around by the Astros early. I think Willie's homer made a statement. That's to right field. It's hugging the line and foul. First statement it makes is he doesn't homer a lot, so that's a great start. We love the fact that we told you earlier, Willie opted not to look at the video of the pitcher making his major league debut, Henry Sosa, because as he said, the last few times I've done that, the real life pitcher's been nothing like the video.
Yeah, you can't beat the one-on-one experience. He probably should watch Rodriguez on film.
One never knows. Gerardo Parra makes the bullpen decision much easier. Ziegler was warming. We'll see. Is it Shaw? Is it Ziegler? They need 3 big outs. TPS Energy All-Star. What can you say about Josh Coleman? You wondered his place in the rotation. You wondered if maybe he'd have to prove a ton. Well, I don't know if any of that was the case. I do know that he had a very good curveball. I do know that his manager had his back the entire time. And when one Michigander stood by another, the manager from Michigan very proud of the starting pitcher. And so are Diamondbacks fans. Well, Hernandez was hot. He stood for the longest time, did some early warming. David Hernandez is on, not Ziegler. Obviously, I mentioned Shaw. He was pinch hit for, but Hernandez comes on having a fabulous year. Trying to lock down a save, number 10 on the year. And not J.J. Putz as well. That one is up and away, 2-0 the count.
And as you said, after 30 pitches, you hope there's plenty of thunder left in that right arm of David Hernandez. I'm sure the conversation's been had today. Hey, how are you today? I'm fine, Skipper. If you need me, give me the ball.
Big swing. Paredes could not square it up. Young tracking, puts it away, 1 out in the inning. David had to work himself through a bit of a mess last night.
A lot of high stress pitches and one high stress play. Does everything right, and then oh no!
Struck out the side. One of the success stories, certainly, of the moves made by Kevin Towers this winter, Hernandez. Cam Michelayo came over. He's in the minor leagues. Mark Reynolds went to Baltimore. David came back. And Arizona would not be where they are without David Hernandez. And then when Putz went down, he went on some kind of a roll, saving game after game on a long road trip before the All-Star break.
He's going on guts and guile tonight.
And that may just be enough, because his fastball at 94 continues to beat Astros hitters.
Now, hey, we lead the league in love. There you go. Bring a date to the ballpark. You might get a ball and a big old hug. That was kind of big league right there.
Barmes awaits. Barmes chops it foul. I have to admit, that kind of surprised me there.
What, the hug?
Yeah, just to.
I thought it was great.
I loved it. We've seen all kinds of foul balls and all kinds of sharing and giving and love. There you have it. Save opportunities. He's been flawless. Breaking ball. You bet that's strike 3. A hammer. I mean, a good old-fashioned yellow hammer, falling right through the floor at home plate.
Barmes can only shake his head as this thing shaves the inside corner, and that one just buckled. Barmes, goodness gracious. Cut it out, and I mean it. And the good news is the first 2 outs have been recorded with only 8 pitches. Get up, folks. There you go. Do what he does. Get up. Make some noise. Strike 1. Yeah, get up. Make some noise.
0-1 the count.
Kudos to the 18,000 and change that came out here and made noise.
And all the kids that came for free. The 0-1. Swing. Did he? Let's get a little help. Oh, boy. I know we're swept into the moment here, but it looked like Quintero went around.
Gibby. Oh, my God. No, he didn't.
Right there. That will do it. You bet I've got the baseball. Hernandez knocks it down. The Arizona Diamondbacks jump back atop first place in the National League Western Division. On a line drive right back to the mound. David is there. And David got it right above his shoe tops. San Francisco loses today to the Pirates. The Diamondbacks are victorious over the Houston Astros. Behind the right arm of Josh Coleman, and offense all up and down. Paul Goldschmidt, Willie Bloomquist, Justin Upton with a 3-hit night. Chris Young with an RBI. 1/2 game up. And David Hernandez cleans things up out of that bullpen. A victory for the Diamondbacks. We've got to talk about it on the postgame show right away. Let's get it down there. The Diamondbacks are victorious.